One of the most important contributors to a film is someone who, if they're doing their job right, you shouldn't even know they exist. Though you may not recognize his name, you've definitely heard his work. From Freddy Krueger's Blades
The ringy sound.
to Spider-Man's web shooters,
You know,
Gary Hecker has created some of the most iconic movie sounds of the past 30 years. Most recently, he was the supervising Foley artist behind the Academy Award-nominated sound work for Quentin Tarantino's latest, Django Unchained.
a Foley artist is encompassed with, I kind of think of it as like a sound actor and then a sound effects artist. And what we do is when they shoot a film, a lot of those sounds are lost on the production, so we go back and embellish it and add sounds to make it more intense and more creative. I have collected props from everywhere, finding these props all along, and the props are like my instruments, my musical instruments. So this is an old spur, actually, long, antique spur, and it gives off a really zing sound. I've got probably 50 pairs of shoes, depending on the character. If like Schwarzenegger walking, they want to sound big, down to a woman. I got back there everything you can think of, guns and chains and cameras and just anything you can think of. What I used on Django, the Quentin Tarantino film, is the film opens up with Jamie Foxx all shackled, and first thing that you hear when the music stops is his chains, so his chains and shackles. And Quentin wanted to pump those up just to make it real lifelike. We're gonna lay down a channel. This is their shackles. I actually have chains, and then we got shackles that were actually made in the 1850s. You have to figure out sound, and then the whole part of what I do is watch the actor and the movements of the actor, and so I have to mimic and duplicate what the actor is doing.
You might be surprised by the amount of work that an artist like Gary must do to create the complicated layers of sound within each scene of a film. In the scene from Django Unchained, Jamie Foxx has been captured and hung upside down. Each element is created from scratch, including the villain's footsteps.
Okay.
Even Jamie Foxx's breathing is recreated.
He's like in that metallic mask, so this is gonna capture like the resonance of that mask over his face.
With his decades of experience and carefully crafted skills, Gary is at the top of a very short list of elite Foley artists working today. He's bound to secrecy when it comes to some of his big current projects, but he did hint at some of the cool things we can expect from one of the summer's most anticipated blockbusters.
Man of Steel is awesome, that's all I have to say. It's Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan came together on that one, and it's an amazing film. I can't say a lot. One of the big things that they relied on me for, particularly, was this cape, and they wanted that to sound really cool, so I had to come up with the sound of that cape. They wanted that really big and beefy and over the top and sound really weighty. So that was real fun. When I come to work, I look at the screen, and that's my canvas. I paint all day with sounds.